Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Breaking chat, Diddy done got goddamn arrested. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, chat. Oh, shit. Chat, Diddy done been taken into custody, chat. Diddy has been taken into federal custody in connection with alleged sex trafficking investigation. Holy shit, chat. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, chat. Oh, shit, chat. Did he do it? Did he did it? I think he done it. Woo! And they arrested his kids too. They arrested this nigga's kids too. Oh shit, chat. Holy shit. According to TMZ, Diddy was just taken into federal custody in New York and to the FBI field office in Manhattan. Reports state it appears the action was taken in connection with the ongoing criminal investigation into alleged sex trafficking along with other offenses. As we previously reported, the allegations led to search warrants being issued and executed at Diddy's homes in Beverly Hills and Miami. Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnefield, released a statement saying his client is an imperfect person but is not criminal. He adds to his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. In addition, Agnefield says he looks forward to clearing Diddy's name in court. Wow! We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the black community. Diddy's attorney. Whoa, chat. They said it, chat. They said that it was some goddamn charges coming, man. They said it, man. It was a dude that said it was an indictment coming. I gotta find that video. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. Because Don just filed a lawsuit against this nigga the other day. Hold on, chat. Wait a minute, what's that? Crime and law. I need to remember them. P. Diddy, crime and law. Law and crime. Okay, what's this with Don Richards?
Little Robot has now solved.
Shit, this the real freaky ass nigga, 69 God. Hey, Kendrick said it. He said it. Freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside. Now, I don't know what he got against freaky ass niggas. Because I am a freaky ass nigga. I'm a 69 God. So I don't know what he got against freaky ass niggas or what his definition. Maybe on the West Coast, freaky means something different. Because I come up in a time when being freaky was a good thing. Cause tonight, baby, I wanna get freaky with you. Let's see what they're talking about with Diddy. Come on, women shit.
Time soon, as he faces yet another lawsuit accusing him of sexual abuse. But Sean Diddy Combs' legal issues don't seem to be going away anytime soon, as he faces yet another lawsuit accusing him of sexual abuse. But this lawsuit is coming from one of his former collaborators and former artist signed to his Bad Boy Records label. This week, former Danity Kane member Don Richards sued Diddy, accusing him of inhumane treatment and sexual assault. The suit adds another number to the growing amount of sexual misconduct lawsuits the hip-hop mogul already faces. This time, it's Don Richard. Dawn Richard was previously a contestant on season 3 of Diddy's hit MTV show Making the Band. According to court documents, during her time on the show, she witnessed different instances of
Hold on, chat. I found some different shit because I'm over here on Twitter chat. So they definitely had a grand jury going on. And in case you don't know what a grand jury is a group of people that they gather, and the U.S. attorney, the state's U.S. attorney, the district attorney or whatever, they'll present a case to a group of people. It's kind of like a regular jury, but it's different. It's not the same as like a trial jury. It's private. The suspect ain't there most of the time. The point of this is to determine whether to bring up charges against somebody. That's the point of a grand jury. So they have been going in front of the grand jury for months with evidence against Diddy, trying to decide whether or not to bring charges against him. The fact that they have picked him up means that they have decided to go ahead and indict him on charges and bring him up against him, and then picked his ass up. That means that the state, or the feds in this case, have presented enough evidence to where these people vote, because they got to vote. It's just like a regular jury, but it's different. Hold on. A grand jury is a group of 12 people who meet the qualifications set out in Art 19.08 of the CCP. They must be citizens of the country in which the grand jury sits, able to read and write, not under indictment, etc. Hold on, Chad. Right. So a trial jury, they determine a verdict in a case, like guilty, not guilty. A grand jury just determine whether or not we gonna charge this motherfucker with whatever. If you watch Power, when they picked up Effie for attempted murder on Lauren, the white girl had to bring forward the facts in front of a grand jury, and Lauren had to go up there and testify, and that's when she backtracked and shitted on the white girl in front of all the people in the courtroom. That was a grand jury. And so, again, you have to bring forward facts, and these people vote and decide whether or not to bring forward charges against somebody. That's the purpose of a grand jury, and he has been indicted. Look, P. Diddy, when he heard the feds banging and kicking his door in. Hold on, chat. They on the jokes early. Stay with the jokes, chat. Listen.
What more do you want from me? Oh my God. What more do you want from me?
Tyrese gave us gold when he did that, boy. It was a sad situation, but he gave us gold, chat. Hold on.
We have caught and compromised to a permanent end Osama bin Laden.
Shit, man. Maybe Not Like Us should have been about Diddy. That would have sounded like to me. Because a Michigan inmate the other day won a judgment against this nigga for $100 million, but I don't think that's going to turn out to be shit. I think that's going to be bullshit. Because it was about him not showing up. It wasn't like he went and got found guilty and shit and lost. You know what I mean? What is this? Sean P. Diddy Combs arrested after NYC grand jury indictment. No charges document. No charging documents yet in Pacer. They already searching the system for this nigga to see what his charges are. This is crazy, chat. This is crazy. Hold on, chat. Let me see. Let me find something to play. Hold on, chat. Let me find something to play, chat. Hold on. Cat Williams said it. Diddy be wanting to party and you got to tell him no. Let's look at this right here from Don Richard real quick, chat.
Verbal abuse by the hitmaker. She claims Diddy referred to the contestants as fat, ugly, hoes, and used other harsh language. And once she was selected to be a part of the band that would eventually become Danity Kane, she alleges Diddy's contempt for women was rapidly apparent. She says the 5-member all-girl group was regularly subjected to Diddy's harsh language, and he made several comments about their physical appearance. She names one example as Diddy referred to Richard as too skinny, and she needed to do something about this, referring to her face. During her time in his orbit, she claims to have witnessed Diddy's alleged true colors firsthand. According to the suit, around 2005, Richard claims she saw Diddy abuse his former partner and the mother of his 3 children, Kim Porter. She says she witnessed Porter in tears leaving a music studio with bruises all over her face, including a lacerated lip. Richard said she realized then that Diddy was capable of committing acts of violence against women, and she feared Diddy could one day physically harm her as well. While signed with Diddy, she claims he forced her to work for 48 hours straight, and as a result of the overwork, she lost a substantial amount of weight, became dehydrated, and even developed rashes. According to the suit, Richard believes she was caught in Diddy's alleged web as he promised to advance her singing career if she caved into his demands. She says Diddy deprived her and her Danity Kane band members of basic needs like adequate food and sleep. When asked if she could get meals, Diddy refused and chastised them with comments like, "You don't want this," or "Y'all are not hungry enough," and "I'm paying you to work." She says Diddy demanded they record and rehearse for 36 to 48 hours without breaks. According to the suit, Richard lost a significant amount of weight, weighing in at about 100 pounds under the extreme conditions, which at the time she thought was a standard requirement to be in the group. The suit went on to state Diddy continued to assert his power and dominance, and even insisted on holding meetings while dressed only in his underwear. She says in one instance, while at his Miami home, Diddy emailed Richard directing her to meet him in the living room. She said when she arrived, he was only wearing his underwear, and when she asked him to put clothes on, the mogul refused and said, "This is my effing house." Richard claims the meeting lasted around an hour, all while Diddy was in his underwear, leaving her feeling violated and embarrassed.
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously. Why?
Hold on, chat. My bad.
2009, Danity Kane broke up, but Richard continued to work with Diddy, later forming a new group called Diddy Dirty Money. She says on the first day of recording under the new group, she and her bandmate Kalina Harper waited in the kitchen where Diddy's then-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie, was frying eggs for him. According to the suit, she was initially introduced to Cassie around 2006, when she was first signed to Diddy's label. She claims even then Diddy appeared to be fixated on Cassie, but in a predatory way. Years later, she claims to have witnessed more of the dark and true colors behind the mask. During the time Cassie was making eggs for him, Richard claims she saw Diddy high on drugs go into the kitchen and approach Cassie and scream, "I've been asking you for I can't stand you. You never do it right." She says Diddy pushed Cassie against the wall and choked her, then picked up the scalding hot pan of eggs and threw it at her, causing her to fall to the ground in a fetal position. While cursing and screaming, Diddy then allegedly dragged Cassie up the stairs. Richard says she was frozen in shock and terror, hearing glass shattering, crashing, and banging noises when Diddy dragged Cassie up the stairs. While she wanted to interfere, she was let out of.
Chat, I believe every word of that. You know why? Oh, Akon, what's happening? Facing life in prison. Shit, I might have should have put that in my title. Act, you playing?
Got the New York hat on. Holy! Big act. What's cracking with y'all? What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? Hop up in here. Everybody's online. No intro today. Live breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Ooh, what's that? I don't know what that is. Breaking news, niggas. Breaking news. Holy. They done got the diddler. God damn it. They took the diddler in custody. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Big Ack is here. We're locked in for the rest of the night. I'm hearing, if this is what I believe it is, I believe that the indictment should be unsealed in the morning. Matter of fact, by the way, all this is happening right now. I've been on the phone with a lot of people. This is very big breaking news right here. Number one, let me see, log in. Here we go. Here we go.
Chat, do y'all realize we are watching the downfall of one of the biggest black empires in the history of the music industry with Bad Boy Records? Like, this is crazy. This shit is gonna uncover so much shit.
Under very unfortunate circumstances. Give me 1 second. We're looking at this. We're looking at this. I'm just checking this federal database real quick to see if we have any indictments. The indictment is clearly sealed. By the way, breaking news, people. Sean Puff Daddy Combs has been taken into custody. Now, what custody seemingly means is that... Ooh, what's this? That's not it. What custody seemingly means is that he has been arrested on a federal indictment. Now, this is going to be very important. Also, to clarify, and by the way, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of things tonight, so chat, you guys are going to want to stay tuned. Could y'all hear me? Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. I just want to make sure we're good. You guys want to make sure you're tuned in for the entirety of this stream. Once again, Sean Puff Daddy Combs has been taken into custody in New York. I did tell you it was something about Diddy not only putting up that property, and supposedly he's going to sell the property at the Homely Hills property in LA, but it appears that Sean Diddy Combs, we all saw him go to New York. I told y'all, something about this told me that he was getting prepared, right? I told you that I expected the indictment to come or news of...
That's why that video came out the other night of him in the city and this girl calling him No Diddy to his face.
About the feds, they might take you into custody on the weekend, but you only find out on Monday, okay? Obviously, we're hearing that it happened today, but regardless, maybe and possibly we will hear a possible arraignment tomorrow, but a lot of things to discuss, okay? A lot of things to discuss. Now, truth be told, and what we should be very aware of, and we're going to read some of these details. We're getting exclusively via TMZ, and they have actual sources, I noticed as a fact, with HSI and also with the Southern New York District. They work a lot there, getting tips, leads, this and third. So when they say something, it's official. There's two things to consider. First and foremost, if Diddy's taken into custody, that word custody is very loose. You could be taken into custody but not being arrested necessarily for these said crimes. Now, it's more likely that he's arrested and he's going to be charged officially for these crimes, which means the grand jury is over with, because, as I've said before, Diddy, not only because he came back to New York, looked like he was tying up loose ends elsewhere, and he came to New York voluntarily. This also tells me that I believe, again, I'm telling you, the rumor.
Check this out, chat. So I watched the Carisha Please interview, right, with Rick Ross, okay? I'm definitely going to speak on that. I got a pen in there because they was flirting throughout that whole motherfucking interview because Carisha need her a new boss. She need her a new man. All this shit is making sense. All of it is going together. I'm looking at the chemistry between Rick Ross and Carisha, and they both from Miami. You feel me? Rick Ross, she say, what's the turn off in a woman for you? And he said, a bitch that talk too much. And we already know how Carisha is, right? It was like a fucking interview. It was like she was sitting up there interviewing for a new nigga type shit. Cause we know she ain't got no real talent, so her music not gonna go nowhere. You see what I'm saying? That City Girls wave is over because we got the Ice Spices and the Lottos and the Megs and the Big Glows. So that City Girl shit is dead, right? That's why JT doing her solo thing and doing the grind from the ground up. Because that City Girl shit is dead. Carisha been separated from Diddy, right? Then now they do the motherfucking Carisha Please. She on there flirting with Rick Ross. And he just let her know, yeah, baby, you know, when you were the boss, you know, it ain't really how much money you buy, how much the most you say you spend on the bitch. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, baby, it just depends, you know, cause you know when you were the boss, you know, it depends if I'm rocking with you like that, if I like you like that, you know, do a little thing, you know, that's nothing to a boss. I done bought some, you know, some cars, you know, some, yeah.
Sign of good faith, especially if you believe you're innocent, right? Hey, listen, we'll help you figure out and investigate because we know you're going to come to the conclusion we ain't do nothing, right? So, again, even if Diddy's guilty, if you got the best lawyers are going to talk to the U.S. attorney, right? The people who are presenting this to the grand jury. So I thought when he came to New York, maybe he would testify. It's very rare, but you got the best lawyers in the world that are probably friends with these guys. Maybe they could say, hey, could we have the grand jury consider Diddy's side of things? He's down to testify. You guys could, you know, ask him certain questions unless he has to plead the fifth. And, you know, that was unlikely. And by the way, I'm still not sure if that happened. Regardless, if that didn't happen, the other thing happened. And it tells me that Diddy coming to New York, it was probably abundantly clear and it was sent a notice to his lawyers that, hey, you know, brother, we're probably going to come to a decision soon within the next week or so. You know, I've talked to a few people who said, damn, why Diddy ain't run? There ain't no running here, right? The reason why there ain't no running, yes, his passport isn't taken, but for you to leave legally the United States on any flight, private or commercial, there's something called a manifest. You have to register with the FAA with the location, the original location to the destination. And if they ever saw that Diddy was going to any place that could protect him from, you know, extradition, Bali or something like that, they don't need to wait on the grand jury to arrest him. Okay, it becomes a different process, but they could arrest him immediately. So I'm pretty sure it was like a handshake type of situation to say, we ain't going to lock you up while we go through this process because we want to make sure we make the right decision and pretty much ensuring that there's no, you know, police tainting this process, no detective, no elected official that's swaying this process. A grand jury is going to be a peer of Diddy. Like, it's going to be, well, people who are constituents of that particular district, which is the Southern District of New York. So, you know, that is the preferred way to indict, especially for people who think that, you know, for example, if you indict Diddy and Diddy beats the case, you're done. Like, if you do it, so a DA could do it through, you know, obviously what's called a complaint. If you indict Diddy through a complaint, which then goes to a judge, they're going to arrest him, but they're going to go to a judge for what's called a preliminary hearing. I showed you that that's what happened with A$AP Rocky. Let's say even if that goes through the preliminary hearing and they do indict him, if Diddy beats that case, which you got to imagine, if Diddy's facing life, I don't care what charges we're going to see, he's going to be facing life, right? If Diddy beats and spanks that case, that DA is finished, right? Like, yo, you're overzealous DA trying to make a name by indicting a black man. Diddy could spin this all type of ways. If he gets indicted by a DA or a DA's office, that was just overzealous. And, you know, he could even flip the narrative. Yo, you listen to a bunch of civil lawsuits which don't really account for the fact, and they're only complaints, at least the initial stages. So they wanted to cross their T's, dot their I's. The DA is not making a decision. The DA is offering up evidence that they've found through search warrants, interrogations, snitches, anything else, witnesses, victims, that they would have the grand jury to basically say, do we have probable cause to indict? And what happens at a point is that, remember I said when they start serving those subpoena, I said, oh, we're getting close. Because it feels like it was at the last part of validation, or not validation, but just checking a few things. And even then I thought it was for maybe additional charges. I think that they went through the brunt of the evidence already, and they were finalizing this whole thing. So they had to do a vote, right? Now, that vote would most likely have been done, I would think, last week. Again, I don't know exactly how, every grand jury proceeding works, but maybe it was done last week, maybe Friday. Could have been done today, right? The reason I would say Friday, if a grand jury's been held for months, because from we heard grand jury's been months now. So these people have been listening to this fucking probable cause case for months. I would imagine if they were going to vote, they would probably vote on the Friday, because why come back on the Monday to vote? Because today's Monday, right? So they probably voted then, and then what happens is there's the next step is a presentment, right? Now the presentment is where the grand jury, after their vote, presents it to the court what their findings are. Now, again, the difference between a grand jury and a jury in your criminal case, right? Your trial jury is that your trial jury has to go 12, if it's 12 jurors, 12-0. Everyone has to agree that you're guilty. In a grand jury hearing, usually they have 23 people, and they look for at least 23 people, and they look for like 12, right? So if 12 people, so it would be 12 that say yes, and maybe 11 said no, they indict, right? So they're looking for majority. Majority rules at that point, okay? Remember, this is not to convict you, it's only to indict. Indicting someone means that there's probable cause that these charges should be listened to in a full court hearing, right? If you don't, so after they vote, clearly it seems like they would have gotten a positive vote. We don't know what that number is sometimes, and I don't think that usually they don't bar the people who are on grand juries from actually speaking out about the proceeding, but you never know. The judge might to say, hey, we don't want to taint this case, don't say nothing about it. Or they might say you can't say anything about it until the case is done. But regardless, those people, we're probably going to hear some leaks on what that process was like and what the vote was like. Like, was it close? Was it 24 or 23-0? Was it 12-11? Who knows? Regardless, they do a presentment, and that's when they, the presentment is an official bill, which what they call, if there is no indictment, it's called a no bill. So they basically fill out a paper. They say it's a no bill indictment, which means we don't find probable cause that this potential defendant could be brought up on charges on any of the criminal charges that were presented to us. So they present the criminal charges the DA thinks could match the crimes, present the evidence of the crime. They get to look at the probable cause, and if there is probable cause, they vote yes. If there is none, they vote no. If the overall majority is no, they would say the no bill, we're giving a no bill, which means Diddy would be scot-free. Usually in cases where grand juries choose not to indict and they present a no bill, unless there's some drastic change or some nigga just like fucking confesses, the case is pretty much dead. Right? Like, you're not going to bring another, usually detectives did the best job they could to fucking find all the evidence to bring to grand jury. If the grand jury can't indict, usually dead, right? Now, it doesn't mean you're indemnified. So if if you come back later, the difference between that and going to trial, say O.J. Simpson say OJ Simpson came out, right? And OJ Simpson said, you know what? I did kill that bitch. Nothing could happen to him. He went through the trial of him being, charged criminally with murder, and he beat it. So even if he admits it, can't go back. That's called double jeopardy. With the grand jury, the case is usually just dead because there's no reason to ever bring it back to a grand jury if the evidence isn't there. But if that person comes out and says, oh, yeah.
So basically, chat, and I knew it, because it was some scary shit, man. You think that, because see, first of all, people like Diddy, right? It's already been said that he got these videotapes or whatever. He like to record his freak offs. And men of power like him, I believe he into some freaky ass shit. And recording his, his escapades and shit like that. They came in and took all his electrical equipment. You thought they wasn't gonna find nothing? Shit.
Historically, a grand jury, they have a saying to say a grand jury could indict a ham sandwich, which means it doesn't take much to convince them because they only need probable cause, right? If you can make a good argument that seems to be the thing that happened, which every, most prosecutor could do the bare minimum. Like, think about Young Thug. Like, again, I think that did go through grand jury indictment, I believe. Actually, the first time, there was 3 people charged with nuts murder. The first time, they got grand jury indicted, and they got found innocent. The case got dropped because they realized, even after it got indicted, the case got dropped because they realized they had the wrong people. But the grand jury looked at it and said, well, it kind of makes sense, so we're going to indict them. But then, as the case developed and other things kind of came out, the prosecutors realized this case was not going to go anywhere. So they dropped it, right? So again, a grand jury indictment, it's all about probable cause. They could also indict you for literally anything. The thing in Diddy's situation, and this is why I said this on Vlad, right? I did an interview on Vlad. Well, actually, I don't know if that came out yet. I definitely predicted that, Diddy would be indicted. I think many people did. Because here's the thing. It's one thing to indict someone on very specific crimes. Yo, did you shoot that person at that time on that street? Right? Now, if you have an alibi, well, at that time I was fucking my bitch in another state. Well, that kind of blows up the probable cause. Yeah, that's an alibi. You're not going to indict. Right? Like, again, this is if you're innocent, right? Like, obviously if you were chilling on the street, had a gun in your waist, like, you may get indicted because motherfucker, like, there's probable cause that you fit the description, had a gun, was on the same street that somebody got shot at the same time. Here's the point I'm trying to say. They hit Diddy not with specific charge, and we're going to see specific, like, allegations and charges. That's what I think, right? I'm guesstimating here. I do think that the indictment will be on sealed.
They did hit that nigga with specific charges, and mark my words, when they unseal that indictment, it's supposed to become unsealed in the morning, and we'll be able to see everything that Diddy is charged with. I guarantee you, when I stream tomorrow, he will absolutely be charged with sex trafficking, because to my understanding now, which is good, that Unc ain't never really had no money like that, because I would absolutely be guilty of sex trafficking, because sex trafficking is simply, hey, a woman live in another state, I pay for her to fly to my state for the purpose of having sex with me. That's sex trafficking. I'm like, what? If me and a chick, I buy her flight and we fly from here to Cancun, you feel me? I take on vacation and we have sex, that could be considered sex trafficking. And so that Cassie put in the reports that Diddy would be flying her around and hiring the male escorts and stuff like that. Once you make a person travel for the purpose of sex, that's sex trafficking. It's like you can't, man, I don't even want to take a bitch on a vacation no more. She get mad and say, you sex traffic me. Bitch, we been together 5 years. What are you talking about? Yeah, man, hold on.
Why do you think that? Like, they're presenting shit after shit after shit. Yeah, that might have been one of the main murders that he was supposedly be the main witness for, but they're presenting like 20 other different crimes. They don't. The point of a RICO is not to prove one crime; it's to prove that you guys had a operation that historically did multiple crimes, right? And also, by the way, obviously the feds specifically love it, but law enforcement loves this type of way of charging people because they, historically when the top guy would never touch the drugs or the gun to kill somebody or touch the money, so he would always look clean. He would have somebody else tell somebody else to tell somebody else to do it. How do you catch the guy who's making all the plays and financing and doing all the shit? You catch him with the RICO. So, it's popular for that reason. We see all our favorite, again, this is coming out of the Southern District, and I'm going to read this in a second. This is coming out of the Southern District of New York. Now, the Southern District of New York, I've told you, this is the, see? Datus. A law enforcement source confirms the arrest was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened that caused the feds to move in a day earlier. Now, with this,
Chat, Diddy was finna run.
Watching him, maybe most likely, not even most likely, 5,000,000%, Diddy's phone is tapped, his associates' phones are tapped, and they were sitting on it, and they were going to arrest him. Like, I'll give you the story on the 6ix9ine situation. I remember when 6ix9ine saw me or wanted to see me that Saturday.
Nah, Chat, that nigga was finna run. The arrest was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened that caused the feds to move in a day earlier. Now, in the case of 6ix9ine, like he finna talk about, they moved in early because they had wiretaps on the nigga, on his people, and they could hear them planning to kill 6ix9ine. And they was gonna do it at a public place, and so to ensure that no civilians and shit got hurt, they moved in and got 6ix9ine early. So what could have took place other than Diddy being in danger that they had to move in a day earlier, other than the fact that he must have been finna run?
Yo, y'all gotta go make an example out of him. They realize he's gonna be the main guy who we could possibly flip. We can't do with a dead snitch. By the way, 6ix9ine didn't snitch yet, but they knew he probably would. So they arrested him early. So they said, hell nah, nigga, we ain't gonna have you get shot, okay? So I'm pretty sure Diddy might have planned to, I don't know, maybe there was something on the itinerary.
Can Stonyfield organic yogurt with high quality...
I'm sorry, chat, my bad, y'all. But yeah, for them to have picked Diddy up a day early, he must have been finna run. I'm telling you.
Wednesday. So I'm still thinking Wednesday. So I think they're going to take him into custody. I would expect that whatever interrogation they would have wanted to do to Diddy, they would have probably ran it by his lawyers already. So they're not waiting till, like, broke niggas, if they collar you, they're going to be like, let me take it to the station and ask you some question. They probably already asked Diddy, like, hey, you and your lawyers want to come in? We do want to have we got a question for you. Or maybe they even offered a proffer, right? So I'm pretty sure they're just going to keep Diddy in custody, and him being in custody, again, what we don't know yet or realize is that most likely, Diddy is not the only person charged. The thing with Rico...
Shit, chat, I gotta go, man. Goddamn, gotta go back to work. So look, I'm gonna follow this. I'm gonna follow this shit throughout the night, and I'm gonna come back on tomorrow afternoon, and we gonna cover this whole Diddy getting apprehended thing, getting taken into custody thing some more. But goddamn it, right now, got to go. Like I say, I'm gonna stay on top of this, And the more information I get, the more information I'm bring y'all. And yeah, OG UNC through the door, the original gigolo. If you love you, bitch, you better hide the hoe. I got to go.